Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the weekly MMA Cycles Market Update. Today is the 30th of October, 2024, and I am Gianni DePoci, your host. It is a very exciting period that we're in right now, not just from a mundane standpoint and earnings season in markets and important economic data set to be released and the presidential election, along with Fed rate cuts coming next week. But also from a geocosmic standpoint, no shortage of signatures in this important moment in time that could lead to meaningful moves in markets. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. And we can start off by looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is trying to find a low of significance. It may have even happened last week in one of our CRD reversal zones. But, we started off this week with a trine between Mars and Neptune. And then on the same day, on the 28th, we had Venus square Saturn. And one of our techniques here at MMA is to look for a market to form a low going into a hard aspect between Venus and Saturn. And so obviously that happened a couple days after, but it was actually the last trading day before that signature on the 25th. The next day we gapped up. And that low is holding for now. Looking ahead, we have a really intense weekend of geocosmic activity. We do have Mars ingressing into the sign of Leo, which is Donald Trump's natal Mars sign. And on the same day, Mars is going to oppose Pluto. There's also going to be an opposition between Venus and Jupiter on that day. And then on the following day, on Monday, you're going to have the Sun trine Saturn. So let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ 100 here, which has yet to make a new all-time high. We've been expressing this as a concern over the last couple of months, but I do want to draw your attention to the NASDAQ composite, which is a bit more of a wider gauge of what's happening in the NASDAQ. And you can see here that we just hit a new all-time high today. So, we need to make sure that we're pointing out some of the dangers, but also recognizing some of the positive developments. And we had a really strong earnings report from Google yesterday, which is a major member of the Magnificent Seven. And this is continuing with the recent theme of big tech names gapping up. We had that happen with Tesla last week after it had a nice earnings result. And you would think that Tesla eventually will become a really important stock in this market once Uranus goes into Gemini, and it could really start to accelerate to the upside next year when that initial transit takes place. Netflix, although not a member of the Magnificent Seven, had a similar move as it ran up to new highs. So that is looking bullish for this stock as well. But let's go ahead and jump over to the bond market as we look for a temporary low. We've seen interest rates creep back higher over the last couple of weeks, but not to a point yet where it has nullified our long-term outlook, meaning that we're still looking for the probability of interest rates falling into mid to late next year. And then at that point, I think inflation will become a problem again. USO, the crude oil ETF, did start off the week on a very bad note. It gapped down hard. Crude oil prices opened up in the Sunday's futures market significantly lower. Seeing a little bit of a rally here today, but I still think that there are some serious risks for lower oil prices going into year end. I do want to take a look at the US dollar here because we continue to see it strengthen against both the Japanese yen and the euro, although in the euro you're getting a little bit of a relief rally. But we have essentially confirmed a new 4-year cycle, which was a major part of our dollar outlook at the MMA investment retreat. You take a look at the euro against the dollar, seeing a nice rally now, actually. And that low from the 23rd of October continues to hold. And, there's some phase breakdown questions in this primary cycle in the euro. But, there are some significant resistance levels like in the 109, 1095 area. And, we're going into Venus opposite Jupiter. So don't be surprised if another lower high forms in the euro against the dollar here. And of course, we need to take a look at what's going on in the cryptocurrency market. So Bitcoin came within a spitting distance of its all-time high in the cash market. However, in the futures market, if you look at the continuous contract, Bitcoin did make a new all-time high yesterday, and this has been in alignment with our expectations as we called this low on August 5th as an intermediate term cycle bottom. And now going into Venus opposite Jupiter next week, could you see a sustained breakout? Might be a little overbought near term, but I do want to bring your attention to Ethereum, which is starting to break or starting to test resistance, I should say. And if this clears that, $2,900 level area of resistance, I would expect this to rally up to 3,300 pretty quickly. So Bitcoin moves first and Ethereum tends to follow. So keep an eye on this coin. Depending on the charting software you're using, you may see the September 6th low as lower than the August 5th low. And so that kind of helps our cycle break down quite a bit. But I do think there's some opportunities here in Ethereum, especially in the near term. I do want to bring your attention to what's happening in the uranium sector. Some really interesting things happening. And I think with, Pluto set to go into Aquarius on the 19th for good of November, you could see this rally in the uranium market really start to accelerate. So I think it's going to be a big theme of Pluto in Aquarius and something that you should keep on your radar, when it comes to your portfolio and investment. So that's everything that I wanted to cover with you today. Thank you so much for watching. We did send out the monthly Addendum Plus report done by Puyan Zulfagarnia, and the monthly grains report done by Wyatt Fellows will also be released this week as well. So that's all for now, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back next week with you for another update. Thank you so much.